friends, welcome to my kitchen. It's Deb from Bowl Me Over. Don't you just love summertime? Summertime means cookouts and barbecues and potlucks and all the good things. Anyway, so today, let's get to cooking. Today we're gonna make a super easy recipe, and that is our baked bean casserole. It's fabulous. It's perfect for barbecues and cookouts. It's great for a potluck. Everybody asks for it. It is that good. So let me show you how easy it is to make and what we're gonna need for this recipe. And the first thing is ground beef. I use a 90-10 here or a 93-7. I don't like the super greasy, so that's my hack. You can certainly use 80-20 if you'd prefer. The other ingredients we're gonna need are baked beans, of course, brown sugar, we're gonna need an onion and a bell pepper, Montreal steak seasoning. Gives it that garlicky, peppery bite, it's perfect. Worcestershire sauce, mustard. We're going to use ketchup and barbecue sauce and some bacon. It's all we're gonna need for this recipe. Okay, so let's get started. This is yummy, and I think you're really gonna enjoy it. We're gonna start by browning our ground beef. And I have a nice sizzle going there, so that's perfect. And while that is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and break it up a little bit first. And this is just, pulled it out of the freezer yesterday. It's just a little frozen yet, but it won't take but a minute and that'll quickly unthaw. Okay. And I'm using, as you can see, a pretty big pan here, and that's gonna work by the time we pile all the ingredients in it. We don't have to dirty another dish, which I'm a big fan of. So, okay. So while that is cooking, I do want to brown it with our vegetables. So I'm gonna take a quick minute and dice the bell pepper, that right there, and get rid of all those seeds, which just takes a minute. And if you're worried that I am going to cut myself with this very large knife as I'm waving it here and there, you probably should be. I'm kind of famous for it. Anyway, I try to be careful. I have the scars to prove it. So, summer's here. Can you believe that? It's just been so pretty here this year. We have such an amazing view. I don't know if you follow me on or get my emails that I send, but on the emails, I occasionally include pictures of our area, and our view is just so beautiful. The other day I was sitting out here and I was working in the sunroom, and I could see an eagle, a bald eagle, fighting with an osprey, which was like the battle of the Titans. They flew off. I didn't see the end. I didn't really want to see the end, but it was really something. Every day I pinch myself. It's amazing. All right, so that's browning up nicely. I just have it over like a medium to medium high heat. I have a wonderful nonstick pan. I don't add any oil to it. And that tiny bit of oil that is grease that is in the ground beef is going to be perfect to brown our vegetables as that goes. So I'm just going to let that kind of do its thing. And next, slice up our onion. I had one sad little onion in the refrigerator, so that's what we're using today. He's not past his prime, but he's just a tiny little thing. I don't know why it's a he, but apparently it is. All right. So while that is sitting there, let me just give this a little stir around. And we just need to cook this until the hamburger is completely browned and the veggies are soft. And that's coming along nicely. So now let's get our onion in there. And notice as I'm cutting the onion, where I'm holding the knife, a little bit further down. It just, again, from experience, it gives me better control. So it's not kind of flailing around. And it might be a good hint for you as well. All right. That's perfect. Okay. And let me get this in there. And this is another one of my favorite tools. I don't know if you have one. If not, it might be a good investment. I can always put a link down below. But it is a great scooper, obviously. Use it for scooping. It also, I used to always use my knife for that, but I found that using the knife for it dulls that knife more quickly, and you definitely don't want that. Okay. So we're going to, this is browning up nicely. I'm going to let that continue to do its thing. And in the meantime, we're gonna have just a couple more things to prep. And then literally it's that simple. Into the oven it goes. I have my oven preheating, speaking of that, in the background at 350. And plus all the notes are gonna be below. So if you miss something, don't worry, everything's below. But the oven preheating in the back at 350. We're gonna, after we mix all this together, we're gonna cover it in foil and then bake it for, I think it's 45 minutes. 45 minutes at 350 with the foil on, and then remove the foil and bake it for another 15 or 20. It gets really caramelized and delicious. It's amazing. Okay, so we're gonna finish up a couple of things here. I'm gonna clean up my workspace. We're gonna make sure that this is all browned and ready to go, and we'll be back in just a couple. Okay, so our ground beef is browned. The vegetables are soft. It's exactly what we're looking for. Next thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna season this with our Montreal steak seasoning. Big fan of that seasoning. It's like, I can use that to do all the seasoning, the pepper, the garlic, the salt, all the things with minimum effort. So it's a nice shortcut that I like to use. Okay, and that is coming along nicely. Let me turn this off. Okay, so now we're just gonna add the rest of our seasonings, and this is the Worcestershire sauce. That adds a ton of depth. It just makes, it gives it that real good umami flavor. Mustard. Ooh, I don't want that. That won't help me a whole lot. Let me use this. Some good solid yellow mustard. It's gonna give it a nice tang. This is our ketchup and our barbecue sauce. So in that goes next. And that's gonna give it that good smoky flavor. Use your favorite. I usually end up with Sweet Baby Ray's because it's readily available here. Next is brown sugar. And that is just what we need. And let me give this a little stir. I'm gonna turn that back on for a minute. Just get all this mixed in and mixed up together. And even though we had that off for a quick sec, of course it had to cool, but it already smells really good. And this will be perfect. We're actually having some family members over, and so this is a dish to share. And I know everybody really enjoys baked beans. And so last, but not, well, I guess not last, but next is the beans. Probably turn that off again because it's going to go in the oven here shortly. You can use, I might have already said this, but you can use your favorite flavor of baked beans. This is just what they had at the store. And the recipe calls for 2 cans of the 28-ounce cans. And they, of course, didn't have that either, so I used 1/28 ounce and one of the others, so that works. That works just fine. Okay, so now we're gonna stir all of this deliciousness in together. You know, I so smartly, my mom's here, she's kind of in the background there, so smartly reminded me to put my hot pan holders, but we really didn't cook this until boiling hot, so I can actually touch it with my hand, which I'm thrilled. Okay, that looks wonderful. Let me get rid of this real quick. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so next we have our casserole dish. We're gonna spray it with nonstick cooking spray because nobody wants to clean up that mess. This is my favorite casserole dish. I had a friend actually gave this to me and I've used it until I could use it no more, I tell you. And I hear my oven just went off, so that's perfect timing. We're going to pour this glorious baked bean casserole right into our dish. And before you say, but wait, Deb, what about the bacon? Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. Doesn't that look wonderful? What a great dish to share. And leftovers freeze really good on this too. Okay. Bacon, crumbled bacon, right over the top. And as I'm sitting here, I realized I forgot to get my aluminum foil out, so hang tight. Be right back. Okay, this might get a little noisy, so I apologize for that. One thing I always do, and I would recommend you do, is I use heavy duty aluminum foil. It seals better. It makes for, if you use regular aluminum foil, use two layers, because that'll help the sealing process even that much better. Okay, into the oven it goes, 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, we're gonna take the foil off. We're gonna bake it for another 15-20 minutes until the top's caramelized. I'll see you in a few. Hey guys, welcome back. Well, my timer went off. I pulled the casserole out of the oven. Look how like beautifully browned the top is, how it's nicely caramelized. That's what we're looking for. This is hot and bubbly, but I still have to at least try it, right? Oh goodness. So what I like about baking it in the oven with the top off, and I knew this was gonna happen, my little corgi, he's like, Mama, are you cooking something? Anyway, bake it in the oven, like when you take the top off, it does like some of the seasonings like all kind of come together. It evaporates a little bit of the moisture. The bacon is all like browned at the edges. Yum. And this is like screaming hot, so hang on. Oh my. It's sweet, it's tangy. The bacon's a little salty. I think these, hands down, are the best baked beans. They are perfect for cookouts, perfect for your barbecue, your pool party, all the things, man. And they freeze great too. So whatever doesn't get eaten, just put in little containers for your family. Toss them in the freezer and you'll be set. I think you're really gonna enjoy that. Hope your summer is going wonderful. Again, this is Deb at Pull Me Over. I appreciate you watching today. If you have a quick second, like and subscribe, leave a comment below. I'd really appreciate it. Check out the blog at pullmeover.com. Of course, Facebook, and I don't do as much as on Instagram as I should, but Twitter, all the things. So appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.